over the weekend that, yeah, I had like 5 grandkids ooh, from 5 weeks old to 11. So yeah, I was busy. I had fun, but I'm tired. So it was a tired week.
All right. And how are you feeling?
Tired. Tired.
Okay.
Tired,
I'm going to
boss.
take that. We're going to pass the mic over to my right. Can you introduce yourself, sir?
How you doing? I'm Roscoe, and my week has been long. I feel laid back.
Okay.
I'm not tired. I had my grandkids this weekend, and we had a good time,
Okay.
especially with the 5-week-old.
Okay. Okay.
No, it was fun. It really meant a lot to me. I enjoyed the little sweet smell,
The baby smell.
the baby smell, and the fingers and everything. Once they turned 3, I pretty much cut them off.
Ooh.
Because they start getting dirty and have a little stench to
That's wrong.
them. No, that's not wrong.
Okay. Okay. My week has been not busy. I was blessed to take some time off, and so my husband and I got a chance to spend some quality time, which is always number one in my book. So I did have that. Today was a challenging day for me. First of all, I am excited, blessed, and happy to be here on this platform. Today is the very first show for me.
Yay!
So I am excited. I've been visiting Prima in her playground, and I was blessed to have my own.
Yes.
So we're going to start with some of our topics today. And I want to talk to you about relationships. So, and in relationships, for me, I always say a relationship is it's like a ship. It takes more than one person to operate it, and everybody has to know their role, their part, and work together. So that is always my premise when I start talking about relationships. It's not just me, I, or my. It is a group of or more than one person coming together to make something run or function. So, Prima, what do you think about relationships when you think of the word relationship?
I would agree with you. I think relationships take multiples. It's not one person. I think that in order for a relationship to work, that both people or the group of people have to work together for a common goal in order for it to be successful.
Okay. Roscoe, you got feedback for us? Or a story?
My
Or a joke?
Right.
my take on a relationship is like a mirror. What you see in the mirror is what you get. If you put something ugly in the mirror, you don't expect a pretty picture or a pretty sight. So, and I believe in that if you love your partner the way you love yourself, you should be straight.
I like that. That also goes back into what you say about projection. So whatever you project out, if you're projecting out negativity, that's what you're going to bring back to you.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So let me ask you both, and just chime in. Do you think it was easier dating now or when you were younger?
I would say when you was younger because you didn't really have a value system. And you look at the little couples, like don't have a car and they just catch the bus to see each other and they be just so happy. And it might be 2 weeks again before you see each other. And that was before FaceTime and all those things, and relationships were so strong. Now we got everything where you can see a person.
So you think it was simpler?
It was simpler then, but no, I would say yes. We didn't have all the material things in a relationship like FaceTime, texting. At the most, a person had a beeper.
Right.
You know, and she texted me. I got to run to find
All
a
right.
phone.
Find the payphone right quick.
Right.
Some
So
change in your pocket.
Right.
yeah. So other than that, you know, and every time you spoke to one another, it was like seeing your chills. But now we have so many different ways of communicating, and we don't communicate. Or I guess we take the individual for granted. Because, you could FaceTime me, or why you didn't text me, or why you didn't send me a smoke signal or something. But in the old days, I would say it was more passionate.
Well, you couldn't take those things for granted.
Right.
The technology.
The technology.
Or I would like to say the easy access.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Prima?
I think easier younger, because the expectations were different. We didn't really know value systems. We knew what mom and them told us, so to speak. Like he said, young, you hopeful, dreaming, you're more accepting. It's rainbows and butterflies and, like all that, I'm gonna fall in love, and more accepting. I think older, you have more expectations. People are set in their ways. I'm not going to deal with this. They got to have this. They got to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's more rigid. I feel like younger people were more honest in their youthfulness than as you got older. People have like this imposter syndrome, or they put on and want to make it seem like they're this or that. That's another challenge when you get older dating. And I think older dating people aren't as accepting. Like when you're older, people should have some type of baggage or have some type of baggage, but people aren't willing to accept the baggage and the flaws when you get older as when we were younger dating.
Okay, and I would have to agree with that as well. I think, to me, it seemed like when you're older, it should be easier, right? Because at this point, I'm not going to tell my age. However, you should be mature. You should know what you want, what you're looking for. And at this point in stage, you should know yourself. So for me, dating was harder. In some instances it was easier, and in some instances it was harder. My harder was because I can filter me, but I can't filter the next person. So when I'm younger, I don't have expectations, and I'm not, it's just like, we're just going to go with the flow, let it do what it do, all that. But as I get older, okay, now I don't have time. I'm not trying to play with you. I'm not trying to run around, play games. And I do have expectations or wants or desires. I'm honest with myself, or at least I try to be with what those are. But you can't make the other person be honest or open. So, and that's where I always say the representative. So that's where you run into those problems.
I think society paints a picture of what a relationship should be, and which a relationship is based on two people. It's not based on society. And when you have things like TV, media, radio, groups, when people get together and talk negative about each sex, and then people try to value relationships off of material things.
Or what they see, like
right.
status.
Right.
Yeah.
So just because a person have a status don't mean they're going to treat you well, not they're going to take, they're not going to be for you. But so I think another thing too, like Prem was saying, people don't think, you can't have a baggage or not accepting of you. But society say, well, once you reach a certain age, you should be in a certain place. Like almost how people say, I'm in my golden years, or I'm retired, I just want to travel and, wear drawstring pants and walk the beach and go to flea markets. And
life should be simpler.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, when you have offsprings, parents, whatever that you are responsible for, it can be kind of rough. So a lot of time you have to have a mate or someone that can understand that. But a lot of time you got to take advice from your mate sometimes, because you're not the first person to take care of your parents or have a child that's, off the chart. But a lot of time as a parent in a relationship, you in between your mate and your family, whatnot. You love both of them, but at the end of the day, you're trying to juggle both, and it can be hard. So a lot of times, if you got a mate that's understanding what you're going through, sometimes just listen to their suggestions, and say, because another person can see something you don't see, because you're caught up in the emotional realm of what's going on. And so a neutral person can kind of pretty much guide you in a different way. And a lot of times, I don't think we accept advice when it comes to, say, our family or our mate. Like if your parents telling you something about your mate, or if your mate telling you something about kids, it can be difficult. And it don't have to be a boyfriend and girlfriend. We can be married and have kids and bump heads.
Well, and I agree with that, because when you're still dealing with two different personalities, right? And then, so you may have been raised and brought up, and you have your own baggage or issues or the things that you dealt with that makes you who you are. And then if I'm your mate, then I would have the same. But again, that can be worked through and resolved with the communication. So that is one of the things that I am very, very passionate about, talking through things, communicating, and trying to come to a common ground at some point, because if you don't, you're going to repeat those issues, cycles, or things over and over, and you won't get anything resolved.
I have a question. What is baggage?
Baggage would be like a slang or a term for issues or things that you might have had to happen to you, or things that you went through but you haven't let go. So that's why they call it baggage.
Okay.
So then, or for me, because I can say there are things that I may have had baggage, I've let them go. However,
Still holding on to the ways.
no, not holding on to the ways, but there are things that can come back to you and offset, and now that's where we get into triggers. So, that triggered to me to back when I had the baggage, even though I've let that baggage go, right? I've made my peace, moved on. Yeah, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to deal with that person anymore. But then that's a emotional trigger, right?
So really, I got you.
I say baggage. I would add to baggage. I think baggage is children.
I would say
I
children
think
is
it
baggage.
is. I think baggage is children. I think baggage is you agree? Yeah, baggage is children. I say baggage can be your exes, depending on what they bring, how they
Absolutely.
anything from your past life
Right.
before us is baggage.
Right.
So it's like, can you deal with the baggage that we both bring to the table, can we work through the baggage together? Because we all had a life before we came together. Some people can't deal with your baggage or my baggage. Like I said, there have been times that, you got too many kids, or you know, when you talk about status, there are some people that's gonna say, you got student loans, or you got credit card debt, or you got too many kids, or you got to take care of your mama or your daddy. Like, all of that is baggage. Some people disqualify you because you've been married multiple times. Some people disqualify you because you had a baby before, and I wanted a virgin. You get what I'm saying? Like, so all those is life I would say baggage is life before
Life
the-
experiences.
right. What happened and what comes with you when we come together is what I would say baggage is.
Reason why I say baggage is to me,
What is it to you?
and like what Coach Kim said, to me, baggage is something that it's in your past and you don't know how to deal with it, but you keep bringing it back up and holding on to it. Well, because to me, a woman's supposed to have a kid. You supposed to take care of your parents.
But some people don't agree with that.
Right.
You're supposed to, everybody in this room got a parent.
Right.
Everybody in this room
Everybody in here won't take care of them.
everybody in this room got a kid. So chances are you meet somebody, that's not baggage, that's the norm to me. But now baggage to me is like, okay, I broke up with this girl and she gone, don't talk to her, don't bother. And now every woman I meet, I keep thinking she's gonna do the same thing the other woman did.
Yeah.
That's trauma. Your past trauma.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still it is a form of baggage, though.
I would say,
But if you're
but to
assuming
me,
that
you
every
having
woman is gonna
kids-
act like
To me, you
That's
having
trauma.
kids or taking care of your parents is not baggage. That's the way of life. That's like if I go buy a black car, knowing I wanted a white car, I can't be mad. I can't keep and wash the car until it turns white. I should have
Because that was your choice.
that was my choice.
which is what I said, when you bring baggage into a relationship, you have to decide if you can deal with each other's baggage. Whatever life you had before you got together, can you both coexist together with whatever life brought you before you came together, in my opinion. But that's to answer your baggage question.
Those are very, very, very strong words on both parties. Some of what you said I can definitely agree with, and then some of the things that you said I can agree with as well. I personally don't view, for me, baggage is more of experiences or traumas or things that may have happened that we may tend to hold on to, as opposed to children. However, depending on the circumstances of your children, they can become baggage. So just saying, oh, I got kids, I wouldn't say for me that would be baggage. But just depending on those circumstances, it can develop into baggage.
Okay.
Right. I totally agree.
Okay.
So I don't consider family, kids, baggage. That's just a way of life. You know, you got to procreate. So to me, baggage, like I said, is when you holding on to something that don't exist no more.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next question. Do you have or set expectations when you go out with someone for the first time? And then are those expectations the same or different from when you form a relationship with the individual? So let's just say you're going out for the first time. This is like your first date, right? Do you have set expectations on that first date? You've already talked maybe, a couple of weeks or so before you actually go out. So it's not like this is the first time you ever talked, the first time you ever met, but this is your first initial date. And then if you continue to see each other, are those expectations the same? Do they change?
Me personally, at the age I am now, I don't have an expectation.
Really?
No, because I'm not going to get to the point with you where I have to worry about what you might do if we go on a date to have an expectation. I hope you know how to carry yourself.
That's an expectation.
That's an expectation.
Well, I guess the expectation, you know how some people like say, oh, your first date, you're going to take them to this nice restaurant, you're going to woo.
But we're saying, do you have
Your
any?
expectations
Yeah.
of a woman, with a woman.
Yeah,
My expectation would be don't embarrass me.
that's an expectation.
So don't embarrass me.
So then it's a minimum.
Yeah, I hope, Because I'm going to ask you, do you eat this type of food or whatnot? Don't embarrass me because it happened to me before. And
Here come the
How did it
story,
happen?
y'all. Here come the
Tell us how it
story.
happened.
I was pitching woo. And so the young lady I went out with, we went to this restaurant and they said, ma'am, for your entree, what are you going to have? She said, I don't need a tray. I'm going to eat right here at the table.
Oh, boom.
So that being said, that helped me develop an expectation.
Got
But
you.
she was fine. Right.
Oh, she was fine as frog hair.
Right.
Not frog hair.
Big legs.
Real fine. Big, pretty legs. Edges were going on the side.
What about you, Primo?
Expectations when I first go out would be that he's respectful, that I would expect conversation because, I like to talk. I would expect conversation. I would hope that they're being honest because I believe that I'm easy to talk to and I ask questions. And, yeah, I would say honesty, respect. I don't know if you're going to always get honesty because it's the first date.
Right.
But that's my expectation. That would be my hope that they would tell the truth. And really, that's it. Be respectful on the first date. Be respectful, communicate, and hoping that they will be honest.
Okay, and I can agree with that. For me, in regards to first dates, I would hope that the individual is decent. Like, you're going to be a decent human being, right? At the very least, respectful. We're going to have nice conversation. Communicate to the minimum. Not looking for a whole lot in the way of expectations. Just know how to carry yourself in public. I don't have to worry about you falling down, sliding stuff across the table, throwing food. I mean, just knowing how to act as a decent human being. So that would be my expectations in regards to first dates.
Okay.
So what would you say about carrying on into the relationship? What would your expectations be? Would they change? Do they stay the same?
They would change. My expectation, if I was in a relationship, would be honesty, trust. That you're going to do what you said you're going to do. There are deal breakers, so that you would respect the deal breakers. We would discuss, boundaries. And
That's a hot topic for me.
yeah, we would discuss boundaries and what's a deal breaker. What does a relationship look like to you? And see where the relationship goes, like how far this relationship will go. But spending time together, like quality time, not just to go out to eat, not always doing something. Sometimes people don't like sitting with people. They just gotta be doing busy stuff. And I don't always want to be doing busy stuff. Like, I want to spend time, quality time with the person that I'm in a relationship with. So if that means eating dinner, watching TV, listening to music, like, it doesn't always have to be going, doing something, because oftentimes I believe that you don't get to know people when you're always busy. Like, there are a lot of people that don't even want to sit with themselves.
Right.
They can't stand the quiet. I'm okay with the quiet.
Right.
So I want to be with someone that is okay with spending time with me, not with the fluff, not with the stuff, not with the, whatever. So those are expectations. And working together to common goals.
Right.
I am willing to contribute to the relationship, contribute financially, contribute ideas, like, I don't want to always be the idea person. Like, a lot of times men don't they don't have any ideas. It's just like, well, whatever you want to do, or you come up with ideas, or you plan the date, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So wanting someone that is willing to put in input and be a partner in the relationship. I want
Right.
a partner in a relationship, not I don't want a boss. I
Right.
don't want a daddy. You can't be none of that. Be my partner, and we do it together.
I
So
like that. I like that.
yeah.
I agree. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna let Roscoe go, and then I'm gonna give you what my take is.
Okay.
Go, Roscoe. Go. It's on you.
My take on it is treat people the way you want to be treated.
Amen.
And to elaborate on her, in a relationship, sometimes you have a stronger person in certain areas.
Yeah.
If you are a better planner and you know how to maneuver and make things happen, it's not, don't hold it against your mate. Just, to me, I would have a problem with it. Every time we plan a trip, I'm the one got to pay for it. If I was speaking from a woman point of view, if you, like you say, if you plan a trip, say, honey, let's go on a cruise. You're like, okay. And then come time to pay for the cruise, you paying for the cruise. Every time y'all go to dinner or do anything, you plan it, but you always footing the bill.
So you're saying the person that's
He said
planning.
He said the woman.
The person that's planning is always, just say the person that's planning.
It's always they
But-
planning and paying.
Right, but like she said, most men don't plan. Because most men are on things like that. Guys can be sitting around like, hey, man, just get this for example. It's some beautiful women in Tennessee. Hey, man, let's go to Tennessee next month. All right, how much it costs? I found a room for $200. Everybody put $200 in the pot, and we just go to Tennessee.
Cause that's what you really want to do.
But no, listen to me. I'm just saying the spur of the moment, how men are. Whereas women, y'all want to say, okay, we need this for food, we need this for gas, where we're going to stay at, what amenities they have, and all
So
that.
we trying to be comfortable.
And that's good. And that's why God gave you, that's why we need y'all. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, that's a plus. Trust me. You need that balance in life. But a lot of time, if you just say, hey, if you can find it, baby, you find it, hey, I'm good. Tell me what you need, and let's do what it do. Because you're a better researcher than I am.
Okay.
So it's not like, it could be like, for instance, cooking. You might can cook and bake the vegetables and the pastries, but your husband just fine with that meat. So it don't mean that his wife can't cook. It don't mean that he's a better cook than his wife. It's just each one of us have strong points in certain things. Both of y'all are cooking, and everybody gonna eat the meal together.
So that's what I would call partnership,
Right. Which is
working together.
Yeah, which is what you did state. I agree with the partnership and the working together as well. I would like to say I am blessed. My husband and I do pretty good, I think, as far as working on those things in the partnership together. Sometimes I'm like, babe, let's go out, let's do da-da-da-da-da. He'd be like, okay, what you want to do? I don't know, you pick it. And he'll pick it, and sometimes he pays, sometimes I pay. Our trip that we went on recently, he's seen the lineup of the musician and the artists, and he was like, "Ooh, I would really love to do that." I was like, "Oh, okay. You wanna go? Let's look into it." So we did what we needed to do. We started planning it out, and we did it together. Now, I will say I did have to kind of stay on him.
You want to know what we do, right?
Well, no, I knew what we were doing. It was a matter of
Coach
him.
Kimmy, we're invading your show right now,
Show a little bit.
and we all came in here to tell you congratulations on your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for bringing your energy to Caribbean Life Radio.
Aw,
TV. We welcome you.
thank you.
We'll take a drink for you just now, but Congratulations.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It is an honor and a blessing to be able to be here on this platform. So going back,
Woosah,
Yeah,
woosah.
I know we threw you off, but you can go ahead and finish up your show now. It's okay to smile.
Walk it out, walk it out, walk it out.
so was not expecting that at all. I'm like what are these people saying? But anyway,
You kept talking.
right, I did. I was trying. So going back to what I was saying.
The
So
trip y'all just went on.
yeah. So I did have to kind of stay on him about making sure that he got the tickets because me myself, I'm not finna waste money doing da 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 if we don't have the main part. This is the reason
Right.
why we going. So yeah. So once that transpired, then everything else was smooth sailing, and I was able to find this, that, and so usually doing researching hotels and stuff like that, that's usually my part. I don't have a problem with that because I have different multiple avenues that I like to use, as even doing the rental cars and stuff like that. So because I'm gonna shop for the better deal because I like my coins. So yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, even like sometimes he might say, "Babe, you know what? I want to go outside. Let's go for a walk. We off. Let's do it." I'm like, "Okay, let's go." So we both play off of each other. For me, that's very good. It's not something that I had a lot of in dating experiences. However, I got accustomed to it really quick. So, and it is my firm belief, if my husband is listening, what you do to get her, you got to do to keep her. And yeah, that part.
What about what you did to get him? You got to keep doing it.
I agree.
Same difference.
Same difference. It doesn't
Why you
matter.
didn't say that first?
Because I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about him. If he's listening, I said what I said, and ain't no shame in the game.
Look, macaroni.
Right, all of that.
I got to represent for our fellas.
Whatever, Roscoe. Whatever. All right. And we did talk about the expectations in your relationship once you date. So then I want to ask, when in a
Did
relationship,
you tell us your expectations?
I didn't.
You
I
were
did.
agreeing with us, but you didn't say your expectations.
Okay. So I
When you were
do.
dating.
I do have expectations when we go from the first date to actually dating. And you're right, I didn't.
I thought you did when she said about be respectful and all that.
No, that was
was the first date.
first date.
Now we talking about the relationship. In the relationship, once in the relationship was the next question.
So,
Because he didn't answer it either.
Who?
oh,
I did answer it.
Once
no,
in the relationship.
you answered the beginning too.
Right.
So we
I
still
did
got
both.
around, Roscoe,
Right.
you and I.
Right, because I answered.
We right here. Right. So in the relationship, once we're in the relationship, then that's for me when the communication is going to start. And I want to know about your past. Not so much, it's not to throw it up or to put blame or point fingers, but I kind of need to know where you come from, the things that you've had to deal with, and I'm more than willing to be open and share that with my partner as well. I need you to know my roots. I want you to know my roots because I do have things that I've had to deal with in the past, and I want you to understand. And by me sharing that, it's gonna let me see how you're able to deal and understand me. If you are looking at me and pointing fingers and blaming, oh, something must be wrong with you, da 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 da. Well, yeah, you're not the right person for me. I do have boundaries and I have deal breakers as well. Once we're into the relationship, then at that point it's like, okay, well, let me start sharing with you what those things are. So if we're going to progress and move forward, I need to know that you're able to handle those, and I want to know yours because vice versa. I want to be able to handle your deal breakers or understand what your deal breakers and boundaries are as well. So
Gotcha. I understand. I agree with you on that. I think a lot of time people get caught up in the fluff of the new beginning.
yeah, because beginnings do feel good. It's all
Yeah.
exciting.
Then once you get comfortable with one another, some people say the true side come out.
The representative is what I like to use.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say a representative because it's a representative. It's been fake from day one.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I always say it's a 6-month period where you're gonna meet the representative, because of course when you're first dating, you want to put your best foot forward.
And like you said, like when you asked about what type of things like a deal breaker or what trigger you, and I think like in relationships, just because me and you have a disagreement, that don't mean I don't want you.
Exactly.
That don't mean I stop loving you. We just don't agree about the situation.
Right.
And we can be shouting like we finna kill each other. It don't mean that I don't love you. I don't want you. I don't want to see you no more. Like it ain't that type of situation. But depending on your relationship and your past is how you handle situations. Cause I have another crazy female throughout my travels. Say if I'm talking too much,
We're gonna have to have a conversation.
throughout my travels, just
Enjoy it.
if I'm talking too much, just tighten me up. I said tighten you up. No, just pop.
Oh, really?
So that let me know what she's accustomed to. So some people feel like if you don't jack them up, that ain't that real love.
Oh,
know,
if
that
you're not
thug-
physical with them.
Right, that thug loving. And then what's bad about that, some men will get caught up and think all women like that.
Yeah.
And that's a bad situation. And a lot of time men, we try with our mate and argue with a dude, we'll say anything. As long as he stay in that comfort zone, the words don't matter. But with your mate, when you're arguing, it cuts, it hurts.
It does.
So a lot of time, women say, well, why men get quiet? We don't want to go there. We don't want to cut. We don't want to get cut. So they say, oh, you're not talking. You're not communicating. Let me cool off. Let me walk it out. Let me go back here in the backyard and drink or do what I do. Let me ride up the street or just leave me alone. But women sometimes don't see that because they feel like we're shutting y'all out. Now, we're not shutting you out. We're just trying to keep peace.
It depends on the woman that you're dealing with.
That's very much true.
Yeah.
And then I want to say, sometimes it could be male or female. It's not about time out. Some people don't like hard conversations, period.
Or confrontations.
So, right. So there is a fine line between not wanting to address issues and trying to cool off. And some people, male and female, because I've experienced it. It doesn't have to be significant other relationships, just in relationships. Some people don't like to confront issues, and it's easier to tap out. Like, and the issues are still the issues, whether you discuss them or not, whether you discuss them today, whether you discuss them tomorrow. So I think people in relationships, again, going with boundaries and going with expectations, needing that for me would be something that I would say, okay, well, at some point we're gonna have this conversation. Like, this is the matter at hand, and you don't get to tap out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. How are we gonna address that? Because otherwise, the relationship can't move forward. Otherwise, certain things won't be resolved because it gets uncomfortable, you don't want to talk.
It'll keep coming back.
I
Right.
agree with you. It's like having a bill that don't get paid.
So for
But
me,
he didn't answer his expectations when a relationship.
you didn't answer.
What are your expectations once in a relationship? You were responding to us like she was responding to me, so
My expectation is just a whole bunch of love, a whole bunch of love, and everything else will fall in place.
You giving or you receiving or both?
Just a whole bunch of love in that.
Just all the way around.
Oh, just you walk
Just
in the
love.
room. You just walk in the room, you get choked up on love.
Just love in the
And
air.
and when you walk together, people see you and they say that's love.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
Because I'm gonna tell you,
You a Virgo.
listen to me now. Hey, I'm not popping my collar, but I have a witness. And it's not like it was another black, it wasn't like it was a black person. It's been all different races. And people have said, who are y'all?
Yep.
Y'all look good. And so once love a show.
It does. I agree. I agree. My husband and I get that sometimes when we're out, and they swear that the first thing they ask is, "Oh, y'all just started dating?" Because when we're out walking, just and talking, we're paying attention to each other, and it's the body language, it's the physical contact. It's just we are paying attention to each other, and we're in our own little bubble. We're not paying attention to who looking at us, or if anybody's looking at us. So I agree.
Yeah, because I have went out and somebody say, like for instance, I got a neighbor. I had an ex-neighbor because I ride motorcycles. They said, when you going to take me for a ride on your motorcycle? I said, that's my daughter's motorcycle. She'll have a fit if you get on the back of it. So they thought my boo was my daughter.
Right.
So I don't know if they asked her, when your daddy going to take me for a ride on that motorcycle or not.
That would have been hilarious.
But it was funny. So I had mentioned it to them so they would know. But people's going to say things. And it wasn't disrespectful because they didn't know.
Right.
It's just like, to me, you don't have a shirt on say I belong to Big Willie. And Big Willie crazy, he'll kill the whole world. You know what I mean? It's up to you to tell them and for the person to respect that.
That part.
And everything we like, you seen somebody else with it.
True.
Or you went unless you invented it.
Right. I agree. And everybody, what they say, everybody always want what somebody else got.
But they don't know what it takes to have what somebody else got.
That. Just like I always like to say,
Keep it.
right. They say the grass is greener on the
Side.
on the other side, but if you tend to your own grass,
Pick your own
fertilize
weeds.
it,
Get
pick
your weeds out.
Yeah, your grass can be just as greener.
Yes.
Stop trying to hop over there and tend to your own yard.
Because like I like to people watch, like especially around Christmas time at the mall. Because you see all these people at the mall with these bags and everything, and they just be like, they just don't hit the lotto. And which was funny, I was telling the person, I said, you don't know what these people doing to do what they do. So this one couple was in the mall. They had bags out the bag where they had to get a cargo dolly and had security escort them to their car. Instead of them going ahead and leave, they come back in. And that's when they got caught with the fraud.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I saw all this just sitting on the bench in front of Macy's,
Just watching.
just watching.
Yeah, I like the people watch too. I'm not a creep though.
And it's kind of like a movie. It's kind of like a movie that once you watch it.
All right. Well, my time is coming to an end. I have definitely enjoyed having you two here with me today. We didn't get a chance to finish all of our questions, so we will continue.
Okay.
I hope you both will be willing to come back.
I will.
Absolutely.
All right. So then we have a couple of more questions we need to go through in dealing with relationships, and I will add a couple of more.
And one more question. I had to fly in because I'm coming from another state. Do you play for flight?
No, I'll just wait till you're here, visiting family and friends. That's not in the budget.
Coach Kim, you gotta tell them how they can follow you, how they can reach you, how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, please. You can find me on IG, Lifing underscore Kimmy. That's LIFEN underscore Kimmy. And then I can also be found on
Kimmie IE, y'all.
KIMMIE. She just saying how to spell it.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
you know, some people try to put the Y.
Y'all be patient with her.
Yeah.
And then also, I can be found on Hill underscore Kimmy, KIMMIE, and Hill HILL underscore Kimmy on Instagram as well. You can find me on Caribbean Life Radio on Facebook, as well as Live 365 on Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m.